Hello and welcome to MacStories Unwind. I'm John Voorhees, and I've got Federico TV with me. Hey, Federico.
Hello, John. How are you?
I'm doing great. Looking out on a rainy, cool morning, so, not exactly the way I like it, but it's kind of nice to be cozy inside on a rainy day.
True. Yes.
So, what do we got going today, Federico? I think we have a return to the animal kingdom. I think we have to come back. We have to go back.
A lot of notes about the animal kingdom in our document.
Yes.
But can I go first? Because I see that you entered 3 animal species, I would say.
I did. It's spring. The animals are coming out, and things are a little wild out there. And you've got a good one, though. I think yours
I got a good one. It's about one animal. It's about peacocks. All right. First of all, a question for you. Have you ever seen a peacock in real life?
I have, I think.
Me
and
too.
I can't remember where, but either at a zoo or at some place where they just had them roaming around as a fancy thing.
Yes, a fancy thing. Gorgeous animal. I
Oh,
would
yeah.
say.
They're big, too.
Big animals.
They make weird noises. They make like screaming noises.
And speaking of that brings me to my story for today.
Okay.
So I was on social media, as you do, a few days ago, and I saw this English post about a really popular program that's on the national television, Channel 1, in the afternoon, which my mom watches all the time.
Okay.
I don't. I'm more of a Channel 5 person myself. But my mom watches this program religiously every day. And it's a big deal because I don't know if it's the type of program that exists in the United States. So imagine it's like a talk show. So you have a host and some rotating guests every day. Some guests are like journalists, I don't know, influencers, sports commentators, like all kinds of like public people.
Yeah.
And they change every day. And every day they sit in this program behind the table usually, and they discuss the day's news, right? And so they have people on the ground to cover, some murder case or some
So
political...
it's serious news sometimes. It's not just like lifestyle type stuff.
No. It's
regular news.
usually the way these programs go, because also Channel 5 has its own version and they have competing time slots. Usually the first half of the program, it's the serious news. And the second half or the last third is the more lifestyle or lightweight commenting on lighter stuff.
Right.
So I see this clip going viral, and I'm going to read you the text that I sent you for this post. The best story to watch all week. Apparently, the Italian town of Punta Marina in Ravenna has been suffering from a peacock invasion, and residents are not amused. The editing alone is primetime Emmy worthy. Sound on, you can thank me later. Now, this is not an AI thing. Because it looks like one. This is actually a type of clip from this program that was masterfully edited and put together. So the story is the following. This town in the northern part of Italy called Punta Marina in the province of Ravenna. So we are in Romagna. It's the region just above Tuscany, but before, but it's like in the in-between of Italy, essentially.
Right.
Above Tuscany, but before Milan, before Turin, before Venice, right in the middle.
Okay.
This small town has been apparently invaded by this, unclear the number. Some reporters saying it's like 15 to 20 peacocks.
Oh, wow.
They're just roaming the streets, and they have been growing in number over time. And supposedly nobody knows why this happened. Like, did they flee from somewhere? Are they just, reproducing themselves? It's not clear where they're coming from, but they're just roaming the streets of this small town. And the problem is, as you mentioned, peacocks, they make this weird, almost like screaming noise.
Yeah.
Which is the whole part of the video clip that is going viral, because it's sort of hinging upon the screaming sound that these peacocks make.
And that these people have to endure in their small town
These people
now.
have to endure in this small town the constant screaming of the peacocks.
Oh, gosh.
And they're saying, like, they're obviously interviewing these very, like, scared and concerned residents,
Sure.
including a screaming woman that is screaming "stop" like that, which kind of
Screaming.
resembles the sound of the peacock. And they're saying, "Oh, our children are scared, and these peacocks are roaming the streets, and they're like, if you're driving your car and a peacock crosses the street, it's dangerous because you're risking an accident." And then it goes deeper, because apparently these peacocks, when they see themselves in a mirror,
Yeah.
they attack the mirror,
Yeah,
because they
I've
think
heard
it's
this
a
before.
rival peacock.
Yeah.
And so they're showing the damages that these peacocks are causing to cars, because they sort of
They see the
themselves,
reflection in the side of the
reflection in the car, in chimneys above roofs. So like,
Oh.
if you have a metal chimney, they jump above the roof, or they fly. It's not clear to me. And they see themselves reflected in the chimneys. And so there's this guy that's like, "Look at the chimney. It's like it was shot by a machine gun." And they show all the,
All the dents in his chimney.
It's an incredible story. So it went viral
That's great.
yesterday. Obviously, the TV program understood the viral success of this clip,
Yeah.
and so they doubled down. And so they sort of instituted a live cam for this town, where during the show they have these live cameras in this
And
town.
they check in on the peacocks.
They check on the peacocks roaming the streets.
Is this
That
like a rural town?
No, not even.
Oh,
It's-
okay. I was just wondering, because I thought, like maybe someone had them on a farm and they escaped from the farm or something like that. But it's bizarre that there would be so many peacocks in one town.
So let me see. It's Punta Marina would be a population of 3,000 people
Okay.
on the beach.
On the
Prob-
beach.
in the municipality of Revenna.
Huh. Well, whoever let those peacocks go is not going to say anything at this point, because they would be everybody would be upset with them.
Yeah, now essentially when you Google this place, it's become famous for the peacocks, and there's lots of photos of these peacocks, and especially when they I have seen some photos and videos of these peacocks in the middle of the street with
Yeah.
cars driving by, right?
Yeah.
And they open their tail, and it's like massive.
Oh yeah, they're big animals. I mean, speaking of big animals, Federico, I've been contending with the black vultures again, which
The back.
they're back, and twice in the last 2 weeks, I have come across, when I've gone out running, vultures on the sidewalk eating something, usually a squirrel. And I don't know if they're killing the squirrels and eating them, or if it's like roadkill. But they're there, and they do not want to leave their food.
Yeah.
So I've become an expert, as I run up to the vultures, of clapping my hands as loud as I can.
Oh, you're supposed to clap your hands?
Well, I mean, that way they can hear me coming, because, I've read those stories that I told you about where the vultures vomit acid, and I don't want a vulture being startled by me close up and vomiting acid on me. I don't need to fight with a vulture. So I clap.
Or do you? Maybe you
Maybe
do.
I do. Add some spice to my life. So I clap very loudly as I'm approaching from a good distance away, and they hear it, and they reluctantly will kind of waddle off jump off to the side far enough, like 10 feet away from me, but still pretty close. And so I'll run on through. And that happened twice in the past week to 10 days, which is not a lot of fun. I mean, I don't want to have to deal with vultures when I'm out for a jog or a walk or whatever,
Especially with the acid. I mean,
And they're disgusting creatures, and they're sitting there pulling apart a small animal. I mean, it's not something you really want to look at either, seeing, disemboweled squirrels. But that was that. But then I also ran across my good friend, the woodchuck, because the thing about a woodchuck, you see a woodchuck, and they just look cuddly. They're these, fat, low to the ground animals that just look like they want a hug. And I have two woodchuck friends now.
two of them.
One lives in a little drainage ditch next to some train tracks. He was there last summer. He's out eating the grass again. And the other one lives underneath an old train station that's in the middle of town. And whenever I walk by this old train station, it's used by like the local college for students to do like their bands and things, to do band practice. And whenever I walk by, I always see these very large holes that go underneath that are dug and go underneath the building. And I always wonder, what is that? And of course, my mind goes to something like a snake or something like that. Turns out it's a woodchuck who has just like a whole apartment complex going on underneath this old 1800s era train station. And so he was out there the other night too when Jennifer and I were walking home from downtown.
Can you approach a woodchuck?
You can. I mean,
Is that a bad idea? Is that a bad idea? They're not friendly.
I don't think that. No, they're shy. I mean, they run away. You cannot get close to it. I mean, it's the minute that the woodchuck spots you, they waddle off and go into their hole.
Okay.
So I've never been anywhere closer than, I don't know, 10 meters from a woodchuck, maybe a little less than that. But anyway, the big story, the big news story, I've, had plenty of vultures and woodchucks in my life before, but a pack of coyotes is loose in my neighborhood. And
oh my God.
I have not run into them yet. Jennifer's on our homeowners association Facebook page, and you have a homeowners association too. I know for your.
Well, we have a WhatsApp group.
You have a WhatsApp group, and similar kind of thing. This is where the neighbors gossip. They tell each other,
no, it's horrible.
Right. This is where you go to get a plumber. I mean, some of it's practical stuff, but most of it's like bad gossip and things like that. And so I stay off of the Facebook
same
page.
Everywhere I see. Okay.
Yeah. So I stay away from that. And but Jennifer's on it, and she will once in a while send me a screenshot, which is good because that way I can see what's going on. But there's too much friction for me
without the drama.
Without the drama and without feeling like I need to somehow get involved, because there's so much friction between going from looking at her screenshot to actually logging into Facebook, which I don't want to do in the first place. So downloading Facebook for that matter. Anyway, so these coyotes were spotted, and they're making a lot of noise last weekend. And people are concerned about their little dogs, as they should be, because coyotes can attack small dogs. And then another one was spotted a couple of days later. So I don't know. I haven't not run across them. We do live kind of on the edge of town-ish. Like there's a lot of open space near us. There's a big company called Train that makes heating and ventilation systems. They have this huge plot of land, which is mostly wooded. And I suspect that the coyotes live in the woods by this company campus. But yeah. Coyotes, Federico. They're roaming. I've been on the look for them, but I'll look out for them, but I haven't seen them yet.
I'm not sure what I dislike more, the coyotes or the black vultures.
Oh, I hate the vultures the most.
Probably the vultures.
The coyotes, I would not like. I don't think they would mess.
You don't want to mess with a coyote.
No, but I also don't think that for the most part they'll mess with you. Probably not a vulture either, to be honest. But they're grosser looking. A coyote, coyote's like looks like a mangy mid-sized dog. They're about the size of your dogs, maybe a little bit bigger.
No, I think they're a bit bigger.
Yeah, they're not wolf-sized, like German Shepherd or a Labrador Retriever or something like that. They're not like a big dog, but they're kind of in the medium range. I guess they are a little bigger than Selden Ginger, but yeah, and they just have that look like you'll see one and you'll think, oh, somebody's dog has wandered off. And then you give it another, you see it out of the corner, right? Then you give it a good look and you're like, oh, that's not a dog. That's not somebody's dog, because it just looks wild and rough.
Wild, yeah.
And, unkept. It's not domesticated in any way,
Don't like it.
Yeah, so there you have it. Animal Kingdom.
Okay. John, do you have a pick for me this week?
I do. I've been watching a new Apple TV show that I'm going to kind of preview, I guess, and then we can check in maybe closer to the end of the season. But Widow's Bay is a really good new show.
Oh, I've seen the promos. Is it good?
Yeah, it's really good.
Is it funny? Like, I don't understand.
It is both funny and scary because it's so far, well...
It's like dark comedy.
Yes, it's not jump scary so much, at least not yet. But I've only watched the first 2 episodes. There is one creepy clown in it so far, but it's about a guy who grew up on an island off of Maine, and he's the mayor. and he's trying to promote his island because, and one of their gimmicks, so that, 'cause one of the problems with a lot of horror movies now is like, how do you deal with the fact that most people have cell phones and they can just call for help, that kind of thing. His island town is in such bad shape that they don't even have Wi-Fi, let alone a good cell signal. It's just this small town on a little island off of the coast of Maine, and he wants to promote it as the next vacation destination. So he invites a New York Times travel writer to come. And the New York Times travel writer comes. He's trying to promote his town, but at the same time, this weird, mysterious fog rolls in, and a fisherman goes missing, and the local town eccentric says it's happening, something big is happening, that the island is coming alive again. And you find one of the best scenes so far was, and this is to give you an idea of why it's funny, is the travel writer goes to the local historical society, and there's a little old lady there explaining to him the town's history. And there's all these horrible pictures on the wall of like when they did the witch hunts and when, somebody was found killed by a horse. And it's like all this gruesome kind of scary stuff that has happened in the town's past that the mayor is trying to break with that past and make it a fun destination. But the town and its residents are all kind of working against him because there is something creepy about this town and what's going on in it. And so there's a lot of mystery involved. It's not all scary, but it does have kind of that foreboding tension in it that is fun. It's fun. Okay. It's not like gross out scary. It's just creepy.
Okay. All right. That should work. We're still watching, like at the moment in our rotation, we have Margot's got money problems.
Yeah, Jennifer doesn't like that one.
Oh, man.
I was bummed. She thinks it's too vulgar. You know what I mean.
No, she's not wrong, but also I love vulgar stuff.
I do too. And I do like the Zelda episode I meant to mention to you. You saw the... Yes. Have you seen the latest one? Yesterday? No, not yet.
Oh, okay. No. It gets really dark.
Oh, really?
I really, really liked it.
Okay.
And we're still watching Hacks the final season, and our regular sitcoms. And I'm behind on For All Mankind, so I think I'm just gonna wait for it to wrap up, like in the next couple of weeks,
and then just do it all at once, kind of.
Do it all at once, and then jump onto Star City.
That's what I was going to tell you. That's coming at the end of the month, basically.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to do it all, like binge the whole season, because I've only seen like 1.5 episode. I do think it starts kind of slow, which doesment help, but I gotta watch it because I gotta see it through.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm watching at the moment.
All right. Very good. All right. Well, I think that's it, huh, Federico?
That's it. I think that's it.
All right. Yeah. Well, everybody, check out the show notes. I'll have an Unwind Deal in there. And in the meantime, you can find me and Federico over at MacStories.net, doing a lot of interesting club stuff coming up in the near future, too. So be sure to check out Club MacStories, too. And you can find us on social media, where Federico is at Viticci. That's VITICCI. And I'm at John Voorhees. JOHNVOORHEES. Talk to you next week, Federico.
Ciao, John.